This guy. Hi, my name is Lacey, and this is my recap of episodes 3 and 4. It's a twofer. Lucky you. Of Too Hot to Handle Season 5. And if you like my recaps, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell because I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers by the end of the year. So thank you in advance for your support. Also, I do a ton of other dating shows. So after this one, check those out if you haven't already. So when last we left, Louis is having a hard time deciding between Christine, whom he kissed and broke Lana's rules, and Hannah, whom he also kissed and broke Hannah's rules after kissing Christine. So he came from the beach where he kissed Christine, hopped into bed with Hannah, and kissed her. So he's a little bit torn the next morning. Dre interrogates everybody because he's this year's detective, and he asks everybody about if they've done rule breaks. Everybody says, no, not me. Christine and Louis are pretty much just horny. Meanwhile, Hannah thinks she's actually having an actual relationship or connection with Louis. Elise, meanwhile, is torn between Alex and Hunter. Megan likes Alex, so he's a little bit torn between Elise and Megan, but he initially came in liking Elise, and now he's kind of like, okay, well, I guess I'll talk to Megan because Elise is busy with Hunter. But today, Lana says today is the day of decision, so she's going to make both Elise and Louis decide on who they want to pursue a connection with. During the day, Lana gives Louis a bunch of time and opportunities to actually tell Hannah what happened with Christine. However, he just does not take the opportunity. He talks about everything but his kiss with Christine. He talks about tattoos with her, and then he's just stalling. And Louis talks to Isaac, who his little pact cohort, and he tells Isaac about the kiss between Christine and then the kiss with Hannah. And Isaac urges Louis to tell Hannah about the kiss. Some sense. Louis does say, though, that he felt more connection with Christine in their kiss than with Hannah and their kiss. Megan is talking to Alex, and she kind of pushes him to say that he's into her. She's just like, "Oh, do you fancy me?" And he's like, "Yeah, of course. You're a good-looking girl. I'm into you. Cool." And Elise is jealous. So Elise is learning that she can't have both guys on the back burner. She's going to have to make a choice. So now it is time for Lana to handle business, and she calls everybody to the cabana and says there have been breaches. And everybody gets very upset because nobody was copping to it in the morning when Dre was asking everyone. After some stalling, Louis finally admits to kissing Hannah in bed, thus costing the group another $12,000. Costing the group another $12,000. And then he pauses. And then Christine waits, eyes him, and is like, "Oh, was that you wrapping things up before you come into bed with me? Because we kissed on the beach before you kissed Hannah." So now it's all out. Louis, obviously in the doghouse for kissing Christine and then kissing Hannah and not telling either one of them about it, and then lying to everybody in the morning about it. This guy. Hannah is upset that this is the way she found out, rightfully so. Christine is also very hurt, although she's the one who started it with the kissing, saying she didn't care that he was with Hannah. So, I don't know. She was kind of knew what she was getting into. Hannah didn't. Louis talks to Hannah, and she feels disrespected. He kind of tries to dead it, but she deads it, so they're done. And he decides he's going to graft Christine from now on. Louis goes to Christine, and he apologizes to her. He says he should have told her. He does say that he ended things with Hannah and that he begs for a second chance. Christine says that he's going to have to graft because she kind of has the ick from this. So we'll see if she takes him back and if Louis grafts for her. And he does say, like, "Hey, can we share a bed?" And she's like, "We'll see." So I think she's going to probably give in. As hard as she wants him, I think girl's going to give in. In the other triangle, Elise is talking to Hannah about her decision between Alex and Hunter. Elise confides in Hannah that she doesn't really like Hunter's chat, that he's a little dull. And Hannah kind of thinks that Elise just wants what's on the other side. Like, the grass is always greener, so she's always going to go for what she doesn't have. Lana allows Elise and Hunter to go on a date. And it's this romantic candlelit dinner. But Hunter's bad at this. He's bad at general conversation. He's bad at flirting. So Elise is kind of bored. There's nothing happening between the two of them. And Lana interrupts the conversation, what little there was of it, and says, Elise, you have a choice to make. Would you like to end this date with Hunter and swap him out for Alex? Or would you like to continue this date with Hunter as is and see where this goes? Elise deliberates. Hunter is like, the fuck? Why is this happening? And he's a little sad. And I do feel bad for him, because Elise chooses to replace Hunter with Alex. So now the choice goes over to Alex in the house, and Lana's like, hey, Alex. So I sent Elise and Hunter on this date, but she decided that she wanted to finish the date with you instead. Do you want to finish the date with her, or would you like to stay here and continue things on with Megan? And so now Alex has a tough decision. It's not really that tough for Alex because he's been ogling Elise from the get-go. So he obviously chooses to go finish the date with Elise. Megan, meanwhile, finds out about Alex leaving her for Elise when she's trying to relax in the bathtub. And she finds out from Courtney, not even from Alex. She's sad and ends up crying, and everybody feels kind of bad for Megan. On the date, Alex and Elise are really hitting it off a lot better than she was hitting it off with Hunter. There's more conversation. He's confused, but he's very happy that she decided to invite him on the date. She's much happier. It's a lot more natural, and they're getting along quite well. After the date, Elise and Alex come back, and everybody's ready for bed, and they're holding hands, and they're awkward like they just broke curfew or something, and they're like, yeah, so we're gonna share a bed tonight. Okay. And so Megan starts crying, Hunter's a little sad, and it's an awkward night. But everybody goes to bed, and it is the next morning, and Megan is still crying. And Alex in bed, he says, I'm sorry, I should have gone about this better. I should have talked to you before this happened, but I'm sorry. And Megan's like, okay, I just want to feel first and not second best all the time. So hopefully that will happen eventually in my life. And the night before, we learn that Isaac and Courtney were feeling a hella romantic and horny, and they shared a kiss that night, but they haven't told anybody yet. It is time for a retreat. This is the first retreat of this season of Too Hot to Handle. And in this one, they have to write down like their red flags or what they want to work on, first base, second base, third base, or something like that. And then they have a ball full of the colored chalk that you would like use for Holi, like the festival of color. And so they have these balls filled with the chalk color. And so their partner throws the ball and they hit it and it explodes, and it's supposed to be them conquering whatever they wrote on the board that was there for them to work on. So that is the workshop. Alex says on his chalkboard the things that he wants to work on are his indecisiveness, he's a people pleaser, and he's too handsome. Alex, come on. You were doing so well. Elise, she says that she's too strong, she needs to work on trust, and she always chases excitement. Like, she's always looking for the next thing, and that she needs to slow down and kind of relax and enjoy the moment. For Hannah, they didn't show the whole board, and I couldn't pause it fast enough, so I only got one thing, and it was like, make the wrong choices, or choose the wrong men, or something like that. So that was the only thing I got for Hannah. For Dre, he has fear, disappointment, and emotionally unavailable. So those are the things that he wants to focus on. Louis, he wants to work on trust, his impatience, and his impulsiveness. Louis also says that he's actually trying to open up for Christine. Like, he actually wants to make an effort and show that he's growing. Okay, Louis. All right. I'll believe it when I see it. Hunter is another one that they kind of skimmed past, and I didn't really get his whole board, but all I saw was the feeling of not good enough, of not being good enough. Megan is fighting against her bad judgment. She says she's always walked on, and her feeling of not being good enough. Side note, Louis said that he doesn't trust people because his parents got divorced and it was rough, so that's why he doesn't trust anybody. Christine was fighting against chasing, settling, and changing for other people. Isaac was battling his pettiness, his cockiness, and the fact that he has no filter. And the last person was Courtney, and this one got kind of emotional because she finally opens up and says that she's been married before and she was cheated on, and that led to divorce. And so she finds it very, very hard to open up and trust people. So she is working on listening, depending on somebody, and falling too quickly. After the retreat, the workshop, the three couples, Louis and Christine, Alex and Elise, and Isaac and Courtney all feel more connected to each other, more open, more vulnerable. Things are going in a good direction. They're going well. Okay, let's see how long that lasts. Lana. It's Lana time, and she calls everybody to the cabana, and she's like, okay, does anybody want to have at it? And Isaac confesses, and he says that he and Courtney had a very romantic kiss the night before, and that nobody should be mad because it was an actual connection. And somehow he gets away with it, and nobody's mad. They're just like, okay, you deserve that one. I don't know why. This was before the game even. So nobody had opened up, nobody had been vulnerable. But that kiss cost them $6,000. So now the total prize pot is at $146,000, and Lana tells them that there will be 2 new Islanders. Dun, dun, dun! And the 2 new Islanders get to pick one of the coupled up people. So we have Elise and Alex, we have Courtney and Louis, and we have, Christine and Louis, and Courtney and Isaac. So they get to choose between them who they want to go on a date with. And while they are on said date, the rules don't apply. So they can get their freak on, and they don't have to cost anybody any money. So the new players, the new Islanders we have are Yasmin, and she decides to go on a date with Isaac. Courtney is not too thrilled about this. But Isaac says that he is set on Courtney and there's nothing to be worried about. The other new Islander is Trey, and he decides to go on a date with Christine. And Louis is not happy, so this is kind of funny because karma, bitch. Karma, bitch. Isaac and Christine go on their date on opposite sides of the beach, and no rules apply. On their date, Trey says to Christine that he is an ass man. He is really into her curly hair. She wants to be good and not break the rules and be loyal to Louis, but he's very, very hot. He does have very nice dimples. And he brings up the fact that they're allowed to kiss, and it won't cost them any money. And Christine looks tempted. But then we get cut over to Yasmin and Isaac. Isaac intends to be good and loyal to Courtney. Yasmin talks about star signs and Capricorn, and he's just like, meh, I don't care. This is stupid. This is not for me. Until Yasmin says that she's Latina and starts speaking Spanish, and then Isaac loses all control of his head, and it all goes to that one, and he just and he just starts drooling over her for like no reason. She's still the same person who talks about star signs. Okay? Just because she can speak about them in Spanish doesn't make her a different person. And if he's bored with her then, he's going to be bored with her later. But he says that, hey, rules don't apply here. And she says, oh, do you want to kiss me? And he says, yes. And so Isaac is a disappointment and kisses Yasmin, despite his close connection with Courtney. And Courtney's stressing. Courtney is stressing out back at the villa, and the girls are kind of backing her, and it's not looking good. When the dates return, everybody is just like on the lookout for any kind of sign or body language clue into like who kissed, if they kissed, and whatnot. So everybody's on the lookout. Yasmin and Isaac come over to the guys where they're all sitting around the fire pit, and Isaac puts his arm around Yasmin. And the guys are like, did you kiss? And he's like, yeah. And they're like, oh, you're going to share a bed? And he's like, yeah. And they're like, you going to tell Courtney? And he's like, yeah, I guess so. I should, huh? This was a dick move, Isaac. Dick move. I was really disappointed because I thought Isaac had a good head on his shoulders, but he proved otherwise very, very quickly. So, poop on you. Poop on you, Isaac. So episode 4 ends on the cliffhanger of did Christine and Trey kiss? They come back, they join the girls, and the girls are like, ooh, tell me more. Like, does he have a car? And we don't get the answer. It cuts to black, and we are stuck waiting with bated breath for like a couple days because Netflix releases them in batches every Friday. What did you think of episodes 3 and 4 of Too Hot to Handle? Do you think these people are as ridiculous as I do because they just can't keep it together for like a day? Leave me your comments down below. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time.